all you hear is boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the, like, it's no way, like, that was loud. It's no way you couldn't hear that. So I was like, you heard that? She like, yeah. I'm like, where? And then you hear boom, boom, like stomping. So I pop out of bed. I'm like, stay here. So I open up the room door and go in the hallway, and I look. I see Boo Man door is kind of cracked, but as I look, I see Marky going down the stairs. Do. So I'm walking. I'm looking. He goes open up the front door. Front door now open it and let the girl in. I'm like, what was that noise? He like, I came through Boo Man's window. I'm like, but why was that loud? He like, because I knocked down his case, his rack. Now, Boo Man had a rack with all his like game CDs and stuff like that, like the discs. All his games was on this rack. So he knocked the rack down. So I'm like, did you pick it up? He like, yeah, I picked it up. He like, I had to get in the house one way or the other. You told me you was gonna go ring Miss Smith bell. I was waiting on you to go do that. You gonna go through Boo Man window, throw yourself through his window and knock down. Okay, cool, whatever. So he got the girl. I ain't say nothing. I ain't finna argue with my brother. I'm just gonna go ahead and let him do him. Yes, I want to say something. I was very heated. I was very heated. But I'm like, you're not listening to me. You want to do what you want to do. I give up. The ball in your court. I am so upset at this point. And it's like, okay, you want to not listen to me and you want to upset me? I know what to do. So I goes in Kayla's room. I check, make sure everything good. I just picked up the rest of the it was some CDs up underneath for his game, for his PlayStation. It was his games was underneath the bed. I had to grab them. Boom, I put them up. Boo Man is still knocked out. He knocked out, like he did not wake up. But if he would have found out that Marky climbed through his window and did all of that, I definitely would have known where the sound was coming from. Because Boo Man definitely, he go, get out of my room. He'll get out of my room real quick. So boom, I goes back in my room. And so Charles had like, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything fine. I'm like, I don't know why my brother hate me, right? I'm like, he never liked to listen to me. And I'm like, I know, because I felt like my mom installed into me that I make poor decisions, right? I make poor decisions. And that's just what it is. Like in her eyes, that's what I did. I used to always do the wrong thing. And she just hated it. And it was like, dang, maybe is that the reason why he don't, listen to me? And I'm like, and he make better grades than I do. I started like second guessing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why my word, like, not valid? Like, I'm telling you to chill in the crib. I ain't telling you can't have no company. If he had like a little boo thing, she definitely was more than welcome. Or you want to bring one friend over. But no, you out doing whatever you doing the most. You out there getting a pill from Cody, going out to Cynthia party, getting drunk, getting wasted, coming back to the crib, throwing up, bringing your friends in, smoking, crazy pot in the room. Got the room humming in that mug. Got it humming, singing, me. Snoop Dogg. That's what you got going on. Like, you ain't just breaking one rule, you breaking all the rules. Like, dang. And I'm trying to step in to say me and your butt. But okay, cool, I ain't tripping. So I'm breaking down, kind of telling Charlesetta, right? So she like, my brother don't listen to me sometime too. And she like, and it's okay. She like, just don't worry about it. I say, I think you need to go home. And she said, what? I'm like, yeah, I think you need to go home. She like, why? I'm like, because I don't know what, because I was so full of rage. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. She like, I'm not finna leave and it's late. I'm like, you can't call your mom. I'm like, we could ride the bus together. Like, it's just literally one bus. She like, you really want me to go? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then plus my mom going to probably be back in the morning. She like, I don't want to go though. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to go. I'm like, but I'm gonna get to see you Monday. She like, and we're gonna hang out. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I promise we're gonna hang out. She like, I'm gonna miss you. So she like, can we cuddle for 10 minutes? I'm like, yeah, we can cuddle for 10 minutes. So boom, we're cuddling. We're cuddling. Now it feels like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like I'm about to doze off. You know, like how that sleep come up on you? It just like make your eyes feel like your eyes holding weights. I felt the sleep, and I felt like she was very comfortable. Like, she had her nose, like, underneath, like, my armpit. Like, so she was gone. So I'm like, and when I say I'm watching the time, I'm watching the time. Now, I'm not mad no more. Like, I'm not a person that'll linger and hold on to too much madness. But if you keep doing me wrong, I will retaliate. And I feel like, Marky, we just fought in the, like, when we just start putting up our dukes and just really getting into it. All because I'm just trying to keep you from doing something crazy. Like, you could do you, live your life, but dang, bro, take it easy on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my whole point through this whole thing, right? As mom being gone for those days, he took it as in I was trying to tell him what to do. So I feel myself getting a little sleepy, right? But I still got Marky on my mind. So I'm like, hey, Chazetta. She like, I'm like, you think your mom woke? She like, just to wait for some few more hours. I'm like, no, I'm like, I just don't want to get caught, right? And I'm like, I want to make sure the house is straight and stuff like that. She was like, okay. So she put on her stuff, right? Boom. She put on her stuff. She called her mom. Her mom picked up right away. Her mom basically on the way. You know what I'm saying? She like, I'm gonna miss you. I'm like, I'm gonna miss you too. Like, so we just sitting there just basically cuddling. I'm grabbing her. She's sitting in my lap. We're playing, you know, and stuff like that. So boom, her mom says she's there. I walk her outside the door, walk her to the car, give her a hug, tell the mom hello. She like, why my baby is leaving so early like this and I have to be at work? I said, oh, I'm like, my mom gonna be back, you know, probably in the morning. I'm like, she don't really know what Trazetta is here. Like, I felt comfortable with telling her mom because her mom was so chilled. Like, the kids can have company over. They could be themselves. They can smoke. They didn't have to hide themselves like me. It was just like everything I did was wrong. So it's like I couldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't be me. You know, it's like I had to be like how my mama wanted me to be. And that was the weird part. I had to do what she said. Like that. So I felt like, dang, it's lenient. You could be a little lenient. Like, you could kind of be yourself. So I just straight up told her, she like, oh, I remember those days. She like, I used to always sneak my boyfriends in. And then Charles, I was like, Mom, boyfriends? She said, yeah, I had a whole list of them. The mom was cool, right? Boom. They gets in the car. They pull off. I gets inside. I lock the door. I'm like, I should go down there and tell his company he got to go. But some in my soul was just like, no, don't do it. Just let it go. So, boom, I'm making sure everything is in place and good. I'm checking the living room. You know what I'm saying? I found his keys, everything like that. I put everything back in order, made sure everything was straight. I did some extra cleaning because I know my mom is OCD. I went in the bathroom. I did some cleaning. Now, you know what I'm saying? Time has ticked, right? So it's in the morning, okay? So I finally like, man, I'm going to lay down. I lay down, boom, instantly go to sleep. I hear, Rody-dody, Rody-dody. I hear it, but I'm still like, I'm not. So then my eye go up like this, like, are you asleep? I'm like, boom, man, yes. He like, I want a bowl of cereal. I'm like, what time is he? Like, and my favorite show is on. I'm like, what's your favorite show? He like, American Dad. I'm like, okay. I'm like, make you some cereal. He like, I can make it by myself. I'm like, yeah, you know, make it by yourself. Like, I was tired. Yeah, just make it by yourself. He make his cereal, right? Something like, I don't know, like minutes or whatever later, told me to get up. Some just said, get up. I get up and come out my room door. It's milk tracking, like from his room all the way down the stairs, all the way to, it's milk everywhere. He done left the milk out, the cereal out, his cereal all over the place. So I'm like, did he have the world's smallest bowl? Like, because how did you make this big mess? So I cleans it up and then I make my way to his room. I say, you waste so much stuff. He like, it was an accident. But he had the big mix bowl that we mixed the stuff in for cakes. And he pulled a whole bunch of different cereal in there. He got Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Applejack, mixed in the dank, doing his Doug Dizzle. I let him live. It was soggy. He said, I love it when it's soggy. And he was eating. playing this game on the computer and watching American Dad. So I'm like, you talk to mom? He like, no, not yet. Mom probably still asleep. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking like, yeah, she probably is, because knowing her, that last night of anywhere my mom is at, it don't matter where she's at, what place she at, what city she at, she's out the country, whatever, no matter where she at. That last day, she gonna party like a rock star. She's gonna get lit, okay? Then a candlestick. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go back in my room, boom. I shut back down, go back to sleep. As I go to sleep, front door now opening. My heart pumped so, my heart pumped so fast. I was so scared. I was like, I got up out the bed, like, you know, like how when you in the bed with your dog, and if you get up, your dogs get up. It was like I got up, like petrified, like scared. I hurried up, I took the fan, I powered that bad boy off, put it inside my pillowcase. I'm like, oh my God. And I knew it was my mom because I hear her. I hear her like, Al, I left my cup in there. I'm like, oh, it's totally up. So I'm making sure Josetta ain't leaving there. You know, no lip gloss, no nothing. So now I'm double looking because now I'm overly paranoid. I'm overly paranoid, man. I'm paranoid now. I'm so paranoid that I'm looking in the closet, making sure, like, I'm checking behind the blind, like, making sure the window down. I'm paranoid. You hear do-do, 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 do-do. You can hear the suitcases. You hear the suitcases, like, I'm like, do-do, 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 do-do. So I heard about open up the door, say, Mom, you need some help? She like, because I don't want your dad carrying all the bags. And then they gave him extra stuff. Yeah, come on, carry my bag. So I carried her bag. She like, she kissed me on the forehead. It was like with her, it was a hit or miss, right? It was a hit or miss. Was she gonna be nice to me or not? Because she was all about humiliating me, hurting my feelings. Things got to be her way. It was very different, right? It was very different. Like, I know I was doing some things, but I wasn't doing nothing that was really hurting her to the core. But being a teenager, you know what I'm saying? Doing regular teenager stuff. I think pretty much everybody did what I have done before. Like, you know what I'm saying? So boom, I'm helping her, and she like, is Boo Man woke? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he had cereal. I had took a nap. Like, I'm nervous. So she looking like, you got any leftover money that I left? I said, yeah. She said, you keep it for yourself, okay? She like, where is Mark? I'm like, oh, he's downstairs. So my dad, he comes in, right? Boom, he coming up the stairs with the rest of the stuff. He like, I gotta go out there. He got a cigarette in his mouth. He like, I gotta go out there and go get the rest of the stuff. So she like, you need some help? I know you don't, but do you need some help? He like, no, I got it. So she talking to Boo Man, she shuts the door. So I goes in the kitchen. As I go in the kitchen, I'm just making sure everything good, like the keys are in the right spot and stuff like that, and making sure like I really clean down there, because she could see one scuffle on her marble counters and lose, flip it. So as I'm doing that, I hear psst, psst, psst. So I look, right? I'm looking, and it's Marky. He like, come here. I'm like, no. He like, come here, bro, for real, serious. I'm like, no. I straight tell him, no. He like, so he come up there, he like, bro, he like, I need you. I'm like, no, you don't. He like, I need you. Like, he telling me he needs me. And in my mind, I'm like, what do you need? I'm trying to make sure I'm Gucci Gabbana down here. Like, I'm trying to make sure everything clean, everything straight, making sure that Josette ain't leaving out, making sure the dishes put up. She don't even like dishes in the rack. She like the dishes in the rack, dried off, and in the dang on cabinet. So I'm like, what you need help with? He like, that was Mom. I'm like, yeah, it sure was. It's Mom. He like, bro, I still got old girl down there. I need you to help me get her out. I said, no. I said, I thought you was going to tell Mom. I said, I just think I'm going to tell on myself. He like, wait, no, bro. I said, no, I just think I should tell everything. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble anyway. He like, bro, for real. He like, that's how you going to be fine. We could tell Mom. I'm like, no. Let's tell Mom. It's cool, because I told you that the girl, so now I'm getting loud. I'm like, I told you that the girl shouldn't be here. I told you I ain't like the girl. The girl's still here. I say, you say you're going to tell Mom you don't like me, you ain't got to listen to me. You did everything you wanted to do. So Mom is here. You remember you said you wanted to go to Miss Smith. Like, okay, so you want to hurt me? Let's hurt each other. How about that? So Mom comes out and Mark is right there. I'm like, Mom, I got something I need to tell you. He like, bro, I'm like, don't touch me. You did enough of that. She like, what is wrong with y'all? She coming down the stairs. I'm like, so Mark, you said you wanted to talk to mom when mom come home because you had something that you needed to say, that you needed to get up off your chest. Go ahead, tell mom. Go ahead, tell mom. So she like, look, I got a headache. I had a long night last night. I ain't get enough rest. I want my bed. I want to get into my jacuzzi. I want to go in my bar. I want to relax. I don't got time. Whatever y'all got going on, take it amongst yourself. I don't want to be your audience. So we was sitting there, right? We was sitting there, and she was still standing there, though, like if she was still open to listen. So she like, is it important? And so Marky like, no, Rody Doty, you tripping. I'm like, no. I'm like, you remember, because you wanted to go to Miss Smith's house yesterday. Tell mom how we do this week. While she was gone for these days. Like, what did you do? Tell mom what you did. And I'm going to tell mom what I did, mom, because we both did 2 different things, which is so cool. And so she say, okay, well, since you want to offer so bad, what you do? I said, okay, I'll go first. I say, you got to promise not to get mad. She say, you're my child. Why would I get mad at you? In my mind, I'm like, this lady got split personalities because you beats me down. Like it's nobody business. You would be like, you're my child. Why would I do? No, why would you not? So I'm like, well, I took Boo Man to see Charzetta swim. She said, you what? I said, yeah, but he was safe. I'm like, we got on the bus. We had a good time. You had my son on a public transport where he could get sick. Anything could happen to him. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but he liked it. You can ask him. He liked it. She said, you know what? I told you to watch my son. I said, I did. I said, and I took him to go see her swimming. And we came right back and then we ate pizza. Y'all came right back. I said, yeah, we came right back. I said, he's safe. You can ask him. He had a good time. Well, I'm going to ask him because he didn't tell me none of that. I said, yeah, I told him to keep a secret. But I'm like, he know how to keep secrets. I'm like, I'm going to just go on ahead and just tell him myself. So she said, okay. And you came right back with my son. I'm like, yeah. How far was you from the house? I'm like 20, 30 minutes. She's like, next time you take my son somewhere, ask me first. You just don't, that's not your son. You didn't have him. You ask me first. Don't even ask his father. I'm the one pushing him out. You ask me. You got that? I'm like, yes. I'm sorry, Mom. She like, don't be sorry. She like, Marky, your turn. I'm like, yeah. Mom, you're going to love his. Mom, when I say, bah, you going to look like right now, he can tell you what right now. I'm like, go ahead, Mark. Because he kept saying he going to tell him. Like, because I would never, first off, I love my brother. I would never just go around snitching on him. But I tried to really just look out for you. And then you threatened me like, yeah, you're going to tell me, you're going to tell me. I want you to hurt me so I would never forget it. So you said you're going to tell Mom on me. Now it's your turn it's your turn. Go ahead. I told a little piece of myself. You go. Now it's your turn. So I'm like, go ahead, Mark. So he like, I can't stand you. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm just doing what you. I'm just doing. Like, no, you know what you doing. You know what you doing. I'm like, what? My mama say, look, I don't know what's going on, but somebody better get the coughing it out right now. So I'm like, Mark, you know, I'm like, you don't want to tell Mom nothing? I ain't got nothing to tell Mom. Walks off, right? My mom say, Marky, get back here now. She say, you ain't got to tell me nothing before I find out. So he like, no, I don't. I don't. She like, because I was just finna give you all your privileges back. You sure everything is okay? Is you and Dodie okay? I'm like, I'm fine. You okay, Marky? He like, yeah. Then he walks off, right? So my mom like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. He was sitting out on the porch, and he had company on the porch for a little bit, and I told him that he couldn't have nobody on the porch, and he got mad, and he said he wanted to test. So, you know, I told her that, right? And she like, why he just didn't say that? That was... Okay, I'm finna ask my son about the swimming. Don't take my son. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm like, Mom, so I could get my phone back? She like, I just got in the house. I'm like, yeah, then here come my dad. He got all the stuff. He like, I put everything on the porch that we need. She like, go help your dad. So I'm grabbing everything. Boom, 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 boom. My mom, she's coming with all Marky's stuff, right? She puts it in the kitchen. Now, in my mind, This is all his stuff that go in his room, like the game, all the stuff she took. She stored it in her room, right? All his gadgets and gadgets is found, everything. She got it in the kitchen. She like, I'm gonna give him his stuff back, but he need to get his attitude together. He need to work on that. And so she say, here, and she give me my phone. I'm like, yes. She say, you act up, I'll take it as quick as I gave it to you. I'm like, understand. She like, now let me go get Mark. I'm like, no, Mom. I'm like, I got that, Mom. You just came back from a vacation. She said, I have not lifted a finger. I'm okay. I'm finna give him his stuff because I gotta give him the rules. I'm like, but Mom, she like, Roshan,